Yokoso Otakus, today we are talking about a really cool Metroidvania game that is very waifu anime centric called Frontier Hunter Erza's Wheel of Fortune. Now, I haven't had a whole bunch of time to super dig into this, but I have had a chance to play it a little bit, and I've been having a lot more fun than I expected, honestly. I'm not the biggest Metroidvania player, so if you're seeing some kind of scrub content on the screen, I do apologize for that. But there's a lot of things that I like about this game, and I did really want to showcase it. It comes out on December 15th, 2022 on Steam. Now, unlike most games that we cover on this page, this one is actually coming out to early access. So it's not a completed game at this point, but I do think that it's interesting to look at it right now because, like I said before, there's a lot of stuff about this game that really makes it a lot of fun, and it kind of took me by surprise, honestly. The first thing you'll notice is the graphics. Now, this game for a smaller indie dev looks absolutely incredible. It really does. I know I use that phrase too much, but I really do love how this game looks. It's very visually appealing. The atmosphere that they set has a lot of depth of field. The textures look very clear and crisp, and it definitely feels like a PC release game. Doesn't really feel like a whole lot of asset flipping or anything else that you see from smaller devs, and I really do appreciate a lot of that. Along with those really good looks comes our waifus, which are our main characters in the game. The only two that I've been able to play so far have been the main character that is like a sword-wielding character, and the other one uses her feet, and she has like this Gatling gun, and it's freaking awesome. The two characters also seem to have a level of chemistry. They're kind of opposite of each other. Our main character is kind of more reserved, if not a little bit cheeky at times. She actually has this opening scene that I thought was kind of interesting as a content creator, and that's where she does live streaming from space. So it's kind of a fun little introductory to the game and an introductory to the character. The secondary character that I mentioned before, she's a little bit smaller in stature, she's a little bit goofier, she looks a little bit younger really, and she has a really interesting vibe to her. And she is very infatuated with the main character. There's a lot of different kind of interactions that they have with each other that are very silly at times, even though the game for the most part seems like it's somewhat serious. I don't know, they kind of balance it interestingly in the game from what I've played so far. I really can't speak a whole lot for the story, I haven't got super into it, but you play as a character that's on a spaceship, and like I said before, she's doing some live streaming stuff. You get tasked with doing a couple little missions, and then this big event happens, which eventually leads to your ship crashing onto a planet, and that's the first planet that you get to explore. They do a good job of introducing the game by giving you kind of a tutorial in a very stereotypical way. I'm not going to lie about that. There's a little ship computer that you can use that takes you into a battle simulation, and it teaches you the basic mechanics of the game, which for a person like me who doesn't play a lot of Metroidvanias, I really like that. The controls aren't too bad as far as getting to learn to know what you need to do. There's a button to dash. There is a button to swing your sword. There's combos you can do by jumping and pressing up and down. And there's also a special skill that you get a little bit later, which does range damage. For the main character, she shoots like 3 arrows out of her, which actually hit quite a bit of power. I was surprised at that. And the other character, as I mentioned before, has a Gatling gun, which is a ton of fun to use. As far as audio goes, I think everything's pretty serviceable. I think in the audio realm, the best thing that I can say that this game has going for it is a really solid Japanese voiceover. I actually appreciate that quite a bit, being a big anime fan. Having good Japanese VO is really cool in a game like this. The music in this game doesn't stick out in an overly positive or an overly negative way. It's just very serviceable, I'll say that much. And the sound effects, I guess, at times can be a little rickety, but as I mentioned before, this is an early access game, and they do plan to put a lot more work into it. I think that the bones are here in this game, and there's a lot of things that show a lot of promise and shine to me. As again, I said, I'm not a Metroidvania fan, and I really actually got kind of hooked into this. I'm going to play this, all of it, for sure. So the developer says that the game is roughly about 3 to 4 hours of playtime. They're also trying to add in more content to make it about 12 hours of playtime in the first playthrough, and by the time that they're finished with it, they want to have a robust 30 to 40 hours of gameplay for players who want to find all the different hidden elements in the game. This one's actually kind of interesting because I did find a lot of hidden elements in the game. There's a lot of really cool things you can find. Anything from treasure that offers better equipment, to items, to materials that you can use for crafting, and even food items that you can use for food crafting. As I said, I've only played this game a short little bit of time. I will be playing it more, and I am very excited to do more content with this if you're interested in it, so please let me know. And if you want to check out the game, it's on Steam, and there's a link in the description below, as well as links to their Discord. I'm Dre with Otaku, and if you like this content, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, hit the thumbs down, and subscribe for more anime news, reviews, and gaming. I'll catch you on the next one.